broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide.
From the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
What is that?
All right, this is Drew Canoli of FitLife.tv. You're listening to Justin and Kate of Extreme Health Radio.
How?
Remember, we're in this together.
That doesn't sound like you.
Does it sound like me?
What'd you do to it?
Nothing.
You re-recorded it, though. You did?
I recorded when I was sick. Because that's how my voice was.
Because you liked it?
Yeah.
I don't like mine with it. Mine's all like, yours all sexy and I'm all, I should do mine while I'm sick right now. Is that our new thing then?
It is.
Oh.
Actually, we've been recording this whole time.
Shut up.
That's true.
Oh, brother.
It's true.
Why do you do these things to me?
I actually, you know what? You said a minute ago that there was cobweb dust on our headsets.
Yeah.
It's been so long that I forgot to mute us. So we've been... I don't even know how to do this show anymore.
Should we start over?
Do you want to?
I don't know.
Nah, it's good.
That was funny. That really is your voice?
It was me.
That doesn't sound like you at all. I thought you were playing a joke on me.
No.
I thought it was some, like, program you could mess with your voice. You know how I have a new...
sound like Darth Vader?
Yeah, it didn't sound like you at all.
No, it was me.
Will you play it again?
We'll have to wait for this music to go away.
Okay, I want to hear it again. Let's just bust that out one more time.
Yeah, so crazy,
That was surprising.
It's been forever since we've done a show, hasn't it?
Yeah. I don't really know what I'm doing.
I know, right? Yeah, it's been... How long has it been? Let's see. When was our last show?
Whew.
I feel like it's been way too long. Episode 190 was the last one we did.
I don't even have my book right here to take notes.
Oh, I know. We don't even know how to do a show. That was December 15th. It's our last show we did.
I feel like it's been 3 times that long, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah. We'll talk about why. You've been sick. I've been sick. Just, we never get sick, but we got hit with something, didn't we?
Oh my gosh, I'm still coughing. I have what people would, or I think at least I diagnosed myself with, what do they call it?
Whooping cough.
Yeah.
You really think you had it, huh? Or are getting over it, huh?
Yeah. It's funny because when you get sick, and when you have a website called Extreme Health Radio, there's a little bit of an issue there.
I am with you.
But that would mean that we're not human or something, right?
Right. Well, I was listening to Wayne Dyer this morning, an interview with him as I was driving to run an errand, and he was mentioning how, he had leukemia and had a couple of challenges in his life, and he was talking about even when he was being interviewed that day, he had a back issue, and he said, I'm not asking myself so much anymore why this is happening to me, why I get this, why, he's more like, I'm going to take this and make it into a learning lesson, like we all know, but I believe he really does that, and he said, stop asking the whys and feeling sorry for yourself and being the victim, and instead just realize, yeah, you are human, we do get sick, sometimes no matter how well we take care of ourselves, and what's the lesson in it, and what could it be used for? And to you, you've been sick for so long and you're still getting over it. I feel like it was just a necessary break for you because you do so much. Mm-hmm. You have been running basically what could be the jobs of 12 people, I think, for this show for a year, and I feel like you just needed a break, so it was chosen for you.
I know. I feel like it was God's way of just saying stop, relax, take some time for yourself. Right.
And what can you learn from it? And you also did learn, I think, you haven't been sick in so long and you never get sick. That I think it just is a reminder of the compassion. And then I got sick too. We have way more compassion for people, again, of realizing just those nagging sick feelings. Mm-hmm. When you get sick with something, you forget how bad it feels,
Yeah, you lose compassion for people, I think, if you don't get sick every now and then yourself.
Like you think you have it, but then when you really get sick, you really are like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize how bad this actually feels. You forget.
Because when you hear someone else get sick, you think, it's sad because you think, oh, they're not taking care of themselves, or
they're not supplementing enough. They're not,
Yeah, and you don't really...
Yeah, they must have been around a sick person and caught something, or their immune system must be shot, or, and that's a big ego check for me because...
Yeah, because
we're not above that.
No,
nobody is.
No, it's the first thing you think of, like we said, is just you sort of put down the other person or think, oh, they don't take care of themselves the way I do. They don't juice the way I do. They don't do this stuff.
Right.
But Yeah, I think it's a good way to really have more compassion for people and to really, just really be more aware of other people's issues and realize we're all human. And really, it's just an ego thing anyway to say, oh, I never get sick and blah, blah, blah.
Well, and it's an ego thing too. I realized I had to cancel some clients this week because I was, I got a head cold and it just wiped me out and I had no energy, but I thought, I was almost embarrassed to tell them why I had to cancel them because I was sick, and that was an ego thing too. Mm-hmm. Not only did my ego always kind of claim, oh, I never get sick. I'm so healthy. I never get sick. But I realized that's ego right in there too. When you have a hard time telling people, oh my gosh, I'm sick. Yeah. Like that was such I can't tell them that. Like I don't want to be a bad example of everything that
were these clients that knew about our website or no? You know what?
Half probably yeah, and half probably no. Mm-hmm. But I think the ones who did, that's who immediately your mind goes to, oh, we have a health radio program and here I am sick and I can't do their hair. It's like, so it's been a good week for me, a good couple weeks of really just trying to step outside of the ego and realize how much ego is still involved, even though I thought I had made leaps and bounds in that direction, and I have. But to be able to recognize it, I guess, is something that's showing me I'm farther along on my path than I have been. But
I have so much compassion for people that get sick with certainly things that are very life threatening, like cancers or something. I mean, this is a crazy illness that I have, or that my body has right now, and it's crazy because I've been throwing the kitchen sink at this thing.
Yeah, let's talk about what you've done.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, sorry, but where were you going with that?
No, I just wanted to talk about that because it's really opening my eyes up to, man, when people have cancer, I mean, it's a whole different ballgame. Mm-hmm. It's a whole different thing. I mean, there's a whole different set of mindset and dedication and commitment,
right?
That you need to have with this.
And it is one thing for us to sit behind these mics and know and talk to all these people who have overcome it and feel like, oh, if we ever got anything, we would fight it this way, that way, or the other way. And then you realize, like, oh man, that is not only a full-time job to go about curing those diseases and treating them naturally and in the appropriate ways, I believe, but it just, you realize when you throw the kitchen sink at like what you thought you had whooping cough and you still are just laid out for a long time, and you realize how frustrating I'm doing everything seemingly quote right. That's where I kind of have a new set of eyes for, oh gosh, like doesn't mean everything's going to be easier, you're even going to get the results you necessarily want, but
it's amazing because like as you'll probably hear throughout the show, I'm muting my microphone because I'm coughing.
Yeah.
And then I read online that whooping cough can last 2 to 3 months, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, that's so crazy. That long.
Yeah.
For something like this.
Well, and I've never honestly seen anybody just charge it like you have. Like, I mean, you first started getting it and you thought, oh, I'm going to fight this thing off. It started as a cough. It didn't even start as a cold or a sore throat like it usually does when we used to get sick more.
Yeah.
And you were like day number 2 nebulizing. We have a nebulizer we borrowed from your parents actually. And we were nebulizing garlic
and silver. We use the Omron nebulizer, which is really cool. It's a little handheld battery operated device. It's like the size of a cell phone, so you can take it with you traveling. You don't have to plug it in or anything.
Yeah.
It's really cool. But I was nebulizing colloidal silver that we got from puristcolloids.com. Really great. It's called miso silver. And nebulizing garlic, crushed up garlic. It's crazy.
You were really committed to doing your 5 drops or whatever of garlic. And
yeah, I was doing MMS.
And then you were doing...
I did. The thing with MMS, I didn't stick with it long enough. I did it for a few days, but I didn't stick with it long enough. I did super high dose vitamin C. I think that's one of the things that worked well. I spoke with Chris Kaler twice. I think that helped.
I think it did too. Yeah.
What else did I do? I did urine therapy.
Did you?
I did apple cider vinegar. I did DMSO. Along with silver on my throat, I gargled with baking soda and sea salt. You
took silver. Chris Kaler recommended how to correctly ingest silver.
Drink it. I'm drinking silver.
You saunaed.
I did lobelia.
And what's the other one? Lobelia. what is that called?
Gosh, what was the other tincture we did?
It starts with an M.
Yeah, what was that?
I forget what it's called.
And then I did
homeopathy. 4 different kinds. You did research on what was good homeopathy for whooping cough. And
yeah.
I went out and got that for you. And that helped. I mean, everything helped. But like you've been saying, you've been making like a 5% increase in feeling better like every day, which doesn't seem like a whole bunch. So it's a very slow going.
Right.
Probably less than 5% actually. Because I mean, right now,
for the first
you're coughing more than you've ever coughed in a few days, and you're like, oh, here, when you're talking more.
Yeah, I'm talking more, so I'm coughing more. But what else did I do? I did, gosh, I don't even know. I did DMSO. I did sauna, coffee enemas twice a day, saunas twice a day, detoxification baths.
Yeah, you did. You laid in the Vitality Herbs and Clay. What's that? Black Beauty. Is it Black Beauty?
Yeah, Black Beauty.
And the clay bath.
And the sacred clay bath, along with the sea salts and minerals. What else?
Did you skin brush during it?
I skin brush. I'm still doing that.
Let your toxins come out.
And I'm doing all these things, and it's just barely going away. Green juices every day.
Yeah.
Eating really light.
Not eating. Letting your body recover.
Yeah.
Broths. I mean, you've done it all.
I can't think of it. I mean, I'm sure there's things I haven't done, but lots of things.
No, there are.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think the lesson is, I think what happened with me is I got stressed. We were really stressed there before Christmas, and I was trying to do a lot of things for the website, and we were going to take some trips to go see Dr. Nunley that we rescheduled.
And we just gotten back from the Dayton Medical Center for some blood work in Miami, and that was it was amazing. But the timing of it was right before the holidays, and you get home and you're thrown into this whirlwind of trying to do shows, and me trying to do shows and work and go on trips. And yeah, it was a very overwhelming season, which I didn't feel like we were really feeling overwhelmed, and then we got hit. So clearly we were pretty low.
We were really stressed, remember, because we were trying to work out the trip to
Austin.
Yeah. To go see Dr. Nunley, and we had all these things that were up in the air, and we had to hear back from certain people because we were flying standby. And so our flights were up in the air, and all this things, stuff was up in the air, and we're trying to figure out how we're going to, pay bills and all this stuff while we're gone, and make sure our everything's covered, and coordinating the hotel and all this stuff. And
someone to watch Maggie. I mean, it was just a lot.
Yeah, and so I think it was right after that that came down with it.
Got beat down.
Man.
Beat down with a whooping cough stick.
Yeah, and for the first few days, I was coughing every few seconds. I couldn't sleep.
Well, your organs were hurting. When you cough that hard. I mean, I've had that in my life, but just everything aches inside. If you can feel your organs just crying.
Yeah, it was bad.
It's so violent when you cough that like that. It's just really hard to, catch your breath and not have things hurt. You can't cough in a way that doesn't hurt something internally.
Yeah, you feel like you've been through a 9-round fight with Tyson because your whole organs and your ribs hurt, You
probably would have been better off, actually.
Yeah, I would have recovered quicker.
Remember when I almost beat up Mike Tyson?
I do.
Have we ever talked about that?
I don't know if we talked about that or not. Yeah,
that's another story.
Yeah, he had the unfortunate occurrence of running into you, didn't he?
He really did. Even though I actually ran my physical body into him, he was scared of me, so he walked away.
Yeah, he didn't want any piece of you at all.
That guy's intimidating, though. He knew.
If I fight 5'9", 120-pound Kate,
I'm going down.
I'm going down.
That was a weird experience, though. Where were we going to a Laker game, I think? And I was running because we were late, and I was trying to get to the what do you call those? Will call tickets. Yeah. And you weren't, I forget why you couldn't run. Your knee was hurting or something. And I was like, I'll run ahead, I'll get them. And I'm kind of running into people, just trying to get through the crowd and pushing them and kind of elbowing people. I never do that. And I remember coming up, and there's this giant, buff guy in front of me, and I thought, and I remember just body slamming him from the back, my shoulder just whacked into his back, and I was like, oh, sorry, and whatever, and
get out of my way.
Yeah, right. And I kept running and got to will call, and I looked back to see where you were, and you're like, oh no, and you're looking at me all strange, and as you walked ahead, you came toward me and you go, do you know who you just body slammed? I'm like, who? And you're like, Mike Tyson. I thought you were kidding. I'm like, whatever. Yeah, right. I thought you were making a joke. And then sure enough, he comes walking toward us with his, tattoo on his face. And I was like, oh. And I looked over and you were like stepping away from me.
I don't know this broad. I don't know who this girl is.
You're on your own, little girl.
That was hilarious.
And he kind of smiled. Remember that? He kind of gave me the head shake, like, and I kind of was like, ooh.
You're like a little fly in a shirt. Get off
totally,
me.
yeah. Be gone, annoying
He
pest.
doesn't even feel you.
That was pretty funny.
You know, we haven't even officially opened the show yet. You know that?
Let's play the intro again because I want to hear your voice.
Oh yeah.
And we'll pretend. We'll do a second start.
Want to hear the intro?
Now that we have that sick talk out of the way.
Okay, let's see.
Broadcasting live 4 days a week worldwide.
From the sunny beaches of Southern California.
This is ExtremeHealthRadio.com.
No, it doesn't sound like me.
Are you going to keep that?
I could keep it. I could be whatever.
It sounds like I'm like doing the show with another man. People think that I've traded hosts.
No, it's
nice.
I like
it. It's sexy. It's like a raspy voice.
Yeah, it's like Darth Vader.
See, when you sound like that, you sound cool. When I get sick, I'm like it's not pretty.
I'd be like, me laugh. I'm gonna
from
cough.
the hill, from the beaches. It's not good.
No, I think you sound great.
Like that?
I like your voice. Oh, not like that. That's obviously.
Well, thank you. Yeah, a little dramatic.
It's a little different. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we haven't officially introduced the show. What is it? What episode is this? Let's see here. Episode 192.
Yes,
that's
it
right.
is. Mm-hmm.
192. And for reference, what's the date today? It's
January 5th, 2014.
January 5th, 2014. And we want to talk about the previous new year, or the previous year, 2013.
Yeah, we're going to have a recap.
A little 2013 recap.
Yeah, this is pretty much what our episode, I hope, is going to be about.
Yeah, aside from the sickness at the end of the year.
Right.
It's been amazing.
It's been an amazing year.
It has.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope it's been a good year for all of you listeners. It's been amazing for us. I think mainly the main thing is just the amount of growth on every level, right, for both of us. Mm-hmm. As far and as well as the show and everything like that. But it's been incredible. It's been a huge year. It's been even by far, it's been the year of my life where the most has happened, and I've changed the most, and I've really started down a path that's super exciting to me. Like, honestly, for the first time in my entire life, I feel like I'm waking up to my life, and that's how I keep describing it to people. Feel like you're waking up to your life? I do feel like I'm waking up to my life. I mean, I've always loved life and thought I had a grasp on who I was and where I was going, but something about 2013 just, I feel like, kind of slapped me and woke me up and thought that, you know, I was exposed to my real life. Like, this is really, truly a waking up experience for me. It's almost like you were, or all of us are just living a dream, you know? We're kind of, you know, wake up from the dream. Yeah. And you realize what life's really all about. Yeah. Know? It's crazy. My dream has been very, I liked my dream before and I was okay in it, but I realized there's so much more to the dream. And that's where I'm finding so many people. I mean, we'll get into it, but so many people I've met this year have been so instrumental in that journey that, I mean, it's not just like I woke up one morning and was like, oh, I feel like I'm waking up to my life. It's been small chipping away and small meetings of people and having scales literally, I think, falling off my eyes about how the world is and how I view it and what lies I've bought into and what I'm choosing not to buy into anymore. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah, it's been a huge year for me as well. I mean, lots of new insights, lots of growth, lots of new things going on with the radio show. Incredible amount of growth with that. Well, I wasn't even... Yeah, you joined the show. I think February? Yeah, sometime in last February, so you joined the show. It's amazing. Been a whirlwind. It's amazing. We were talking about this a while ago that, you know, with the show, it was almost as if there was no testing out period. Like, we just knew that you were going to do it. Isn't that weird? Very. Like, we just knew that it was, you would be a part of it, and we wouldn't spend, you know, $900 on a microphone and have it be wasted. Yeah, like, you know, we just knew that you were going to do it, and I never thought about you know, what would happen if you didn't like it. Yeah. I just knew you would. Well, it's weird. Yeah, that's how I knew you. When you mentioned this, I'll never forget, we were hiking, I think I probably mentioned this before, but we were hiking on a hike around a lake in Tahoe on a family vacation, I think 2 summers ago, when you
really broached this idea of like, I think this, because you've been throwing around ideas for years of like, I think it looks like this, what I want to do. It kind of looks like this. I'm not sure. You threw around a lot of ideas. And that specific hike, I remember you saying like, what do you think of this? And you posed this whole plan. And I thought, I just knew, I mean, at that moment it was like, yep, this is exactly what he's meant to do and his purpose, and he's going to do it. And, it's not without sweat, blood, and tears, but yeah, you've done it. And I'm just so.
Did you think that you were going to be involved to the way you are now?
I honestly don't know how to answer that. Like,
did you think that, one day I'll be behind the mic and stuff too, or no?
Maybe, I mean, not so much, but I knew I'd be involved, and like, I knew I was interested in the health path at that point, because I'd already probably journeyed down that road in the couple of years before leading up to this.
Yeah, you were doing a little bit.
Sure, and I was open, and I had changed my diet. A lot of things I'd added in and changed, and I was way more open and less fearful than I'd ever been, but I don't know if I actually envisioned myself. It was like I woke up one day, in like December of 2 years ago, before I think it was like, we started the show in August, and that December is like when I don't know what happened. Either you suggested it or I said something like, it'd be fun to do together. And then it was just like from that moment on, I think that's the time that I actually envisioned it taking a different turn for me. But
yeah, it's crazy.
Sorry, my voice is raspy too.
No, it's such a great thing to have you on the show. I think it adds a lot, and
I've had a lot of fun.
It would be where it is without you.
Oh, I don't know about that, but
yeah, it's true.
No, thank you.
No, I think it's just amazing.
Well, I'm feeling like going into 24. I mean, I know we haven't recapped 2013, but 2014, I feel like is going to be a big growth year for me as far as learning how to better communicate via podcast,
right?
Because I can talk all day easily to people in my chair or my friends or my family. I have no problem articulating, but it is funny when you get behind a microphone. I've noticed that I have a weakness to just kind of trail off of my sentences. I forget where I'm going. It's like I'm not a radio person, so this is just. It's a growing period for me, but I feel like this year is going to teach me a lot, and I'll make strides, and it's okay. It's part of my journey. But, I look at you, and I think you really have a gift of more eloquent ways of asking questions. And I'm very inspired, though, because I know you've listened for so many years to shows like this, and you've been interested in the health world. So I feel like your questions, sometimes I'm looking at you across the room going, what the heck? Like, how do you even ask a question like that? Like, where did that come from? And I'm so impressed. Yeah.
Wow.
So to be honest, I mean, you're an inspiration to me, and I feel like you're up here on your journey, and I'm just like starting.
Yeah.
So it's exciting to know I have a whole way up to go, and that I'm on the journey. But I hope that's a goal for me personally in 2014 with the show, is to be able to get to a place of more knowledge and learning that I can ask better questions, along with being able to more eloquently present my questions and thoughts, because I'm not as good at it,
No, and another thing you did this year is you did the silent retreat too.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even write that down.
I know, right?
Man, it's going to be like a 4-hour show.
I know.
My silent retreat was really great. And I think that is going to be, I know it's going to be a yearly addition to my.
You think you'll do it every year?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's that powerful, huh?
Yeah.
Did you listen to that one interview? I forget who it was, but he was talking about, I think it might have been David G. That guy, David G.
Yeah.
Where he talked about the silent retreat, and his friends gave him a hard time because, he brought books with him, and then he said on his next one, he said, okay, well, I'm not going to read anything, but I'll bring a pad of paper so I can write. Then his friends gave him a hard time because you're not being silent. You're sitting there writing and reading. And
totally. To me, a silent retreat, or just a retreat by yourself, is...
I think that's what it's all about, right?
It's about getting away and being mostly by yourself in your own mind. And I took my iPod. I didn't try to make it where I didn't hear or speak to anyone. I mean, there's a few people on the road you wave to and say hello to. And, I talked to some people at the monastery and just had a great experience. But for the most part, it was me. And that was just... Any retreat is what you want to make it. It doesn't have to have all these rules and labels. And sometimes, like on that Wayne Dyer episode I was listening to this morning, he would go sit on a rock in the middle of a park, or he and his family were at Disneyland, and he went off and just sat by himself for a while. I mean, in a crowded place like Disneyland, if you feel like you can get away in your own head, then that's all you need. Like,
you don't have to put any rules on it.
You don't have to put any rules.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I don't like rules.
And you did the whole thing with the labyrinth and the circle thing too, right?
The labyrinth was amazing. Walking that,
cool.
Very powerful for me to leave a letter of fears in the center of it, and next to a picture of Jesus that someone had put in the center, and there was some really neat altars and shrines and things in there, and I really felt like a change happened in me leaving that there, and I've always been a very symbolic person. Symbols mean a lot to me, and having that to actually lay in the middle and then walk back, just really feeling like with every step toward, as I came out of the circle, out into the world again, just becoming leaving little bits of those fears behind me.
Is there some significance to the way they're shaped? Are they all shaped the same? Because I know Gabriel Cousins has one of those things at the Tree of Life Center in Patagonia, Arizona.
I don't know. I actually don't know the answer to that question. I think they're similar. I know there's many, many different blueprints.
Oh, patterns for it?
Oh gosh, there's so many. There's whole books on how to do labyrinths, how to make labyrinths.
Really?
I'm not sure though. I've always only seen circular ones. I don't know if they can be in different shapes, but I know the idea is.
Yeah, what's the idea?
Well, it's so hard. I mean, you look at them and they look like such an easy thing to build, and then you're walking it going, when I walked the labyrinth, I was one foot in front of the other. I wasn't looking. It wasn't about getting to the center for me, and that's what a labyrinth is, to kind of slow you down and make you more meditatively thoughtful in just the moment. And with every, all of a sudden you're realizing like, oh my gosh, it's turning to the left. And then I'm way in the inner circle. And then I'm on the outer circle. It's even happening before you get to the middle.
Really?
So building these things is no easy task. And you really have to, you look at the symmetry of it, you look at the design. There's a lot of work that goes into a labyrinth, and the people who build them are just really fascinating people.
Are they mostly for physical healing that people use these things, or what are they?
I don't know. I think they can be used for anything, to be honest.
It's probably a way to just slow down, kind of like a meditation, I guess.
I think it's very meditative. I think it's very healing. I'm sure it could be physical. Who's not to say anything can't be physically healing if you believe in it? And
yeah,
if that's
true.
Something that you use as a tool to heal emotional stuff or physical stuff.
I'm sure it starts with the emotional and then trickles down to the physical.
I think so. And there's nothing magical about a bunch of rocks being placed in a certain way. It's what you take when you step into it and what you leave in the center when you walk out of it, I think.
Yeah, they sound pretty interesting.
Doesn't need experience for me.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have one in your backyard, wouldn't it?
Oh gosh, you know what?
You need a big backyard though, wouldn't you?
2015, that's a dream.
Is it?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
A big backyard with a labyrinth?
Big backyard with a labyrinth. Well, I felt like I craved it. Like that whole 3-day stay, I did it probably 6-7 times, because to me it was like, oh, this could be a ritual. I really did want one in my yard. If we have blessed to have a yard, one day hopefully, and have that space to do that.
It'd be cool to do is to build a labyrinth with crystals. Could you imagine that?
Oh,
that would be something. Just
that
like Shaka from Land of the Lost, right? The Slee Stacks.
What did he do?
Remember they had those crystals, and they'd go into the cave, and all the colored crystals. There'd be green ones and blue and red, yellow. And they would go into the cave, and it would magically take them back through time.
Is that how it happened?
That's how they'd run away from the dinosaurs in the Slee Stacks. They'd get to these caves where the crystals were.
I remember there being a Slee. I don't remember like how they actually like transformed into their different, or what do you call that? See, look, I'm having a hard time communicating.
What do you mean? Like,
well, how they got into that other land? Like how they? What do you call that? Like
transferred time.
Sure.
Time traveled.
You time traveled. That's the word.
Yeah, it was for the cheesiest 80s TV show. Check out Land of the Lost. You can find episodes on YouTube. Oh my gosh.
I'm going to take notes of this. Land of the Lost.
Land of the Lost.
Cheese ball.
But that would be cool to do a labyrinth with crystals. I bet David Sarita's done that.
I bet there's something to it just about having crystal in your pocket, around your neck, anything the power of having in your hands if you just were to walk it on with regular rocks.
Could you imagine, look at this, like if you did this crystal here.
Right.
What is this? Amethyst. Yeah. Can you imagine that?
That'd be so neat. That would take a lot of amethyst, a lot of money.
I'm sure David Sarita's, he's working on it.
Imagine if you built one of those with crystals as the rocks on ley lines.
Ooh, on ley lines. Yeah.
So we might be moving to,
you know what you could do?
Ecuador, wherever there's some ley lines.
You could build another coral castle that way, couldn't you? Could you imagine?
Oh, that should be our list of 2015 goals.
To build
2 years out from now, we'll be building a coral castle.
Coral castle. Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
so we listened to something recently. What was it? It was something that I wanted to take note of. It was about, was it Marion? No, it was Cheryl Richardson. Remember, and she was talking about living your dreams and things. And she was talking about school. And she was talking about how she was very gifted at mathematics. Remember?
Yeah. She was like a CPA or some kind of math.
Yeah. And
she worked in some giant corporation, or maybe, I don't remember.
Her family business.
Sure.
Remember that?
Yeah, no. But I thought she also worked for some like very big corporation. Maybe I'm making that up, but okay.
And she did, their accounting, and she read the IRS tax code, and she made a really good point. She was saying that today's culture, it really feeds and tells kids that they should focus their time doing things that they're talented at. Mm-hmm. Remember, we looked at each other.
Instead of things they love.
Instead of things they love.
I do.
We're thinking, oh, well, you're talented at doing hair, but you don't love hair. You know?
Never have.
Big difference.
Yeah. You're talented at programming, but you don't love it.
No, I don't. No. And so I wonder why we have these talents if we're not meant to pursue them. I think that isn't weird. It's strange.
Do you think it's because they're just supposed to be part of our journey they're not supposed to be our main happiness, but they add to the things we want to do to propel us a little bit more forward?
Yeah, I mean, maybe...
And what it is we're destined to do?
Maybe somebody's talent is more there as like a signpost, or it's like a guide, instead of realizing that we're supposed to actually earn a living from them. Like with Cheryl Richardson, she was talking about how when she worked with people in their businesses because she was their CPA. And she said she really started understanding what it was like to help people in their business. And she started learning the psychology of people and why they were getting their business so much in debt and all these things.
Right.
And it was at that point that she started to realize that, hey, I really like working with people, and I really like the psychology behind what they're doing. And so it was almost as if her talent of being good with numbers that enabled her to have these clients like that was a sign for her that she's meant to do more. And I wonder if that's for us, with my ability to create websites and, be on the more technical side and be able to do this stuff, and your ability to work with people and do hair.
I think
is really a sign that you should be working with people in a different capacity.
That's the thing. I realize I don't hate people. Sometimes when I start hating my job, I realize it's not the people. I love people. It's that I don't like being around chemicals. I don't like having to I don't mind it on a different level. So you're right. That's probably true.
Yeah. And so when we start realizing that we are, can do more with our talents, maybe your talent is simply there as a guide to say, hey, what area of life is your talent really, is it really focusing on?
Right.
And your talent really just allows you to do something, and then that may be what you're supposed to be doing, but in just a different capacity.
Right.
With Cheryl and her thing, and then she realized she likes psychology and helping people, and that turned into her whole career now.
Right.
So
maybe it's just that people get stuck in it. Like they're good at what they do, and you get stuck. You get the paycheck. You just get so reliant on having that income. I think that maybe you just don't pass it. Like you don't go beyond it to the next level. So you stay in it. And that's not a horrible thing, but it's just not your full potential of what you could be doing.
But then there's also people, like sports stars like LeBron James or Kobe Bryant or these types of people, and they're obviously talented at what they do, but they're very passionate about what they do too, and they love it. So if you're talented in something and you actually love it, and it affords you to make a living, then that's a good thing.
Yeah.
But if you're talented at something and you hate it,
what's the point?
Yeah. So you might want to look at what you're doing and say, hey, is there any other capacity where I can use the general concept of what I'm doing in a really different way? I
agree.
Because obviously, LeBron James is not going to go teach basketball camps, because although he loves basketball, it's not,
right.
He's talented in other ways, but he loves competing. And so, things like that make sense. But, when it doesn't make sense, when you're really talented at something, because I know a lot of people, people like CPAs or people, who do things just because they're good at it,
right.
but they hate it,
right.
And so it's at that point you should step back and look at like how your talent can be used in a different capacity, I don't know. Just think I thought that was interesting when we heard her talk about that. I thought, wow.
Yeah.
Because all throughout school,
right,
we're just taught, if you're talented in math, then you need to be a CPA.
Right.
It's
right.
Without ever asking, hey, what do you love to do?
Right.
Like,
Do you think it's funny too that just the comments that you think back about your life growing up where people, I mean, I remember being in 5th grade or something and being taller, not like hugely tall, but people be like, oh, are you going to play volleyball? Are you going to be a basketball player? You know, you should play. And they give you all these like, I mean, we've all had that where adults especially project something onto you. And I was like, you know, and you start thinking, oh, you know, you're in junior high. Maybe I should be playing basketball because I'm tall. I never wanted to play basketball, so I never played basketball, thank God.
Right,
but I
right.
thought how many things were suggested or just passing comments that adults or anyone else didn't know the power of those words that made a kid think that's something that they were destined to do because of like a physical characteristic even.
did you
You have long fingers, you should play the piano. Like how many times I've heard that? Like,
really?
I don't want to play the piano. Then I didn't want to play the piano.
So when you were 5 years old or 10 years old and an adult told you that, did you consider it?
Not really.
Oh, that's good. That's good. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't care if he's 45. He has no idea what he's talking about. I'm 10.
Isn't that funny though?
Yeah.
No, but I guess I'm just saying though, you know, it's like, I'm so glad I'm such a pushover of a person. I shouldn't say that. I used to think of myself as a pushover of a person. So that surprises me about being who I used to be, that stuff, I mean, I clearly remember it as I'm thinking about it right now, but I'm so grateful that it didn't at all.
Entertain that stuff?
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
No, because I'm so easily persuaded and people's opinions and suggestions have always weighed heavily on me.
And they're always coming at you too.
Not funny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, I don't know, like there's things that are interesting about just all those suggestions we were given. And, you know, it's not just that someone tells you, you know, you might know of your talents and you might know what you're good at and still, like you said, get stuck in something that's not like your passion.
Right.
But it's funny what's suggested for you, even if you're not good at it or you don't want to be good at it.
Yeah.
There's that going kind of to go up against too. And
Well, it's like that movie Good Will Hunting.
oh, with the numbers.
Well, with his talents. I mean, he's incredibly gifted at math, and they were trying to get him to work for the NSA. Remember that? And
rope him into
the intelligence community and
right.
being a part of the government work, you know, the NSA and government programs and stuff. And he didn't want to do that. You know, just because he was talented at it doesn't mean he didn't want to do it. You know, he hated that stuff.
Right.
He made fun of those people, remember? Because he was 10 times the,
more
smarter
intelligent.
than, more intelligent than they were.
Right.
But, yeah, it's just interesting.
I have this quote. I finished The Women Who Run with the Wolves, finally.
Oh, did you?
Oh my gosh. This has been like the most life-changing book ever. But for some reason, I got like 80% done with it. And then the last 20%, it's just taken me 6 months to finish. I have no idea why.
Yeah, we're looking into that. We talked about that, didn't we?
We did.
It's like when you have chicken and vegetables for dinner, you leave one piece of chicken and one piece of broccoli. You'll eat all of it.
I know.
And you are hungry enough to eat all of it, but you don't.
What does that mean? If anyone knows why I do that, can you please tell me?
I know, right?
I did it again this morning.
Did you?
Well, you scooped out a coconut for me to make a smoothie.
Oh, yeah.
I took all but one piece of, like, all these shards of coconut. I took all the, you know, the wood off of them.
The brown parts, yeah.
Yeah, and I left one piece because it looked a little slimy and a little bit purple.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if I want to take a chance. I'll just have this amount of coconut first, and if it doesn't upset my stomach, then I'll have the last piece. Well, I knew in my brain I wasn't going to go and, like, have the last piece.
But then you was thinking, I'm too lazy to eat get the last one.
Yeah, I was. And then I thought, I'm doing exactly what he makes fun of me doing.
So you had that awareness, so you knew what you're doing.
I knew it, and I did it anyway.
Okay.
Which is even weirder.
No, that's great.
Do you think?
Yeah, well, because having the awareness is everything for all of life. Just knowing how you're moving through life, knowing the kind of reaction you're having on people, knowing how you're moving through space, knowing how other people are reacting to you.
That's true.
Having that awareness of how you're living and what you're doing, that's huge.
Okay, well,
yeah,
it's
so
still
at least
weird,
you
but
know.
thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
At least I know my weirdness.
At least I know I'm just crazy.
But I really knew I wanted to finish this book before I started some new ones I had got for Christmas that I'm really excited about, and I can talk about that later. But I read 2 full books doing coffee enemas alone this year, since March or April when I started them.
Oh, wow.
2 full books, even though they were little chunks at a time.
Well, you're quite the pro, let me say. You do coffee enemas like going out of style. Like you do them in 10 minutes. You'll do 3 rounds, 10 minutes.
I actually have it down to 10 or 15 minutes.
It's crazy.
By the time I warm up the coffee to the time I'm out,
That's nuts.
Well, thank you.
I don't know how you do that.
Well, I'm very magical.
You need to tell us how you do that one day. Reveal the secret.
No. I actually want to do a YouTube video on how to do it properly and make the coffee and just show people, because I have so many clients and friends that I share this with, and they're like, how do I do it? And I'm finding it very hard to keep explaining it. And then people will forget, and they'll text you or write you and say, hey, what do I need again? You know?
Yeah, I hear you.
So,
before you do that, we should do a break.
Oh, okay.
You have a great quote from The Woman Who Run with Wolves.
Yeah, you were doing this like cutthroat thing.
Oh, yeah?
And I thought you were like, stop talking because I'm going to cough, or you're going to cough, or like, don't ruin your voice.
No.
Okay, I'm
I
gonna
just wanted to make sure we did a break first.
Gotcha.
So we'll be right back. We're going to do a little ad for our favorite sauna. Kate and I have had our sauna for about a year now, I'd say, when we first got it from Phil Wilson. And it's an incredible machine. We use ours about every single day. Kate sits in about 20 minutes, and I sit in there about for a half hour. Usually watch a documentary, and it's extremely relaxing. It's really, really an incredible machine. And if you go to extremelealthradio.com/sauna, you can learn all about it. We did an entire hour interview with Phil Wilson. You can check that out. You can look at the pictures of us with it. You can watch videos on that page. It helps you to sleep really, really well. You can lose a lot of weight with it. You can burn, I think, around 600 calories in about 20 minutes or so. It improves your skin, increases circulation all over the body, and circulation is critical for your health. You can prevent and reverse diseases with it. If you have a cold or flu, it's incredible. It heats you down to the core. It heats 4 to 6 inches inside your body, so it's really incredible. And a lot of people use it for cancer as well. So if you have any kind of incurable, quote, disease, you can use it for that. And Dr. Shade is the foremost authority on detoxification. And listen to what he says about it.
How do I detoxify from plastics? I mean, you guys are using a sauna, and what does a sauna do for us? A sauna is great, but it's moving a number of different toxins. Remember, we talked about the mice, that if you put PCBs in there, then that made the mercurial that much worse. And sweating moves out a lot of plastics, volatiles, fat-based toxins. It's really good at moving those out, sweating those out. So that's how you're getting those out, and those are contributing to this synergistic soup inside the body. And so that's why they're good, is they're taking out a bunch of the different things in the soup.
And Daniel Vitalis, one of our favorite guests. What do you have to say about the sauna?
When you go into the sauna, like a far infrared sauna like you discussed, your body goes into a deep relaxation mode, and your sympathetic nervous system shuts down and your parasympathetic nervous system turns on. And when that's active, that's the nervous system, part of your nervous system that's active when you meditate. That becomes active, and your detoxification pathways open up wide. Why is this important? It's important because when you go running and you sweat, you're not necessarily eliminating very much toxicity from your body. But when you sweat in the sauna, you eliminate a lot of toxicity from your body. So sweating in a relaxed state is how we eliminate. The other thing is that what's wonderful about the sauna is that it puts you in a parasympathetic nervous system response, like as if you were meditating. So it's almost a hack. It's like a trick to get yourself into a meditative, relaxed state, to decompress stress, to reverse the effects of stress, and to get your body eliminating deep, deep toxicity that's stored in your body fat, because it can come out in the oils of your skin. So I think, sauna is one of the most crucial detoxification, really health practices that we could take on, especially in this era of heavy toxicity, particularly fat-soluble toxins.
This sauna is really, really great. They offer payment plans, because if you buy it through PayPal, it's 100% secure. You don't even need a PayPal account. I think you could do a payment plan through PayPal. It's got low EMF electromagnetic fields coming off of it. It's portable, so that means you don't have to knock down a wall in your house. You can just move it from room to room. It sets up in about 2 to 5 minutes. It's super easy to clean. All you got to do is wipe it down when you're done, and wipe the neck down. And it produces energy and heat inside very, very evenly throughout the whole machine. All you have to do is sit in there for about 15 minutes a day. And the great thing I like about it too is it requires zero preheating. So you turn it on and you're starting to get warm, and you're starting to detoxify with that far infrared light almost immediately. So it's really great. It comes with a 1-year warranty. It's about $990 plus $25 shipping. And that's really, really a good deal, because if you look at most of the regular saunas out there, they are in the $2,000 to $4,000 range. So this is really, really a good deal. So check it out, extremehealthradio.com/sauna.
100% listener supported. Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join the show now on Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. Hello. That's 949-505-9585.
Do you know what I wish someone would have told me when I was 5? That I looked
that
like
you can have endless amounts of candy. Get candy, get candy, get candy, get candy, get candy. All you're concerned with, get candy.
Okay, Seinfeld. No, I wish they would have told me, you look like you should play the banjo.
Oh, no.
You look like a front porch picking banjo player.
No one told you that?
No.
They told me that.
Because when well, were you the one who did that intro right there? I feel like every time I hear that song, I wish I played the banjo. And that was something I had on my list last year, and that was actually something I did not do. But who's not to say it's 2014?
Yeah.
Forget the piano with my long fingers. I want to pick a banjo.
I know. That's pretty cool. Mm-hmm. I like that.
Thank you.
Yeah, banjos are cool.
Banjos are awesome. My brother played the banjo for a while. And
you should get him to teach you.
Yeah. I know. Well, he lives in Austin, but when we go there, maybe he can teach me a crash course in one day.
Yeah, there you go. Mm-hmm. So you have a quote from a book.
Is that okay?
Yeah.
When I finished The Women Who Run with the Wolves, and that's what I was going to say. Besides reading 2 books during my coffee enemas, I've tried to multitask and waste no time, but it's become a very soothing thing for me.
We cannot multitask.
We can't?
No.
What does that mean?
We can, but our subconscious mind can't multitask.
I believe that.
It's possible for us to do it, but we don't do either one effectively.
Right. It's going through the motions, and you're not mindful of. You can't be mindful of more than one thing at one time.
Yeah.
I believe that.
But you can actually. People can multitask; they just don't do it well.
That's probably what I was doing, and probably why I don't remember half the book I read right now.
That's great.
But there was something. I think it was Real Simple magazine. I like that magazine, because I hardly ever read magazines that aren't about health and fitness and things, but I do like it. And it was asking for January or for February's what book. I think the question of the month was, what book would you pass down, or would you recommend your kids reading, or would you want to pass down to your generations or something? Oh, really? And actually, the first one that popped in my mind was The Women Who Run with the Wolves.
Really?
Yeah, I thought if we have a daughter, and I just think it's such a powerful. I actually think it's not only a powerful book for every woman to read. I think men would get just as much out of it, even though she goes way into the book is about stories and myths of the wild woman archetype. Mm-hmm. I get that it's very feminine based, but there's a lot of just life nuggets and just soul food in here.
Yeah, wow. It looks huge.
It's so huge. That's why it took me, there's 600 pages.
Wow.
Almost 600 pages if you read all the notes and stuff. 550 pages. But I liked this quote when I was kind of looking back upon the year, and this one stuck out to me. And she's talking about initiation just into, there's so much background, but initiation into the wild woman archetype and what we've lost and kind of how to regain it. But she said, initiation is the process by which we turn from our natural inclination to remain unconscious and decide that whatever it takes, suffering, striving, enduring, we will pursue conscious union with the deeper mind, the wild self.
Wow.
And that's just, this whole book is quotable. That's how I feel about this whole book. And you see all my dog-eared pages right here. Yeah. There's so many nuggets. I actually want to, even though it took me forever to get through, I want to restart it again.
I was going to ask you that. You going to read it again?
I am going to take it on the retreat we're going to go on, and I'm going to underline and just, have it as journal fodder. And
wow.
It's beautiful. But I thought, isn't that funny? Whatever it takes. It's like we know we're actually going consciously towards something we know is going to be hard, and we're enveloping the suffering, striving, and enduring, because we know that eventually is going to lead us into a deeper mind, the wild self. And I thought, man, this year 2013 hasn't been without all those things. And,
right.
And it's been really hard times during it. But overall, I just knew I was connecting again, kind of back to that wild self and my original state, who I've been so, just bogged down, I feel like, that I'm starting to sense and gain perspective of these small moments that you have this clarity of returning to that wild soul and that spirit that you feel like just gets lost in the everyday hardships of life. And it's not that you're trying to not have those. It's just that you're trying to use them as tools and incorporate them into your journey and still be able to dig up that wild self and return to who you really are at your core.
So by going through the tough times, it allows you to become more aware and have a sense of your deeper mind, she says?
Yeah, your deeper self.
Your deeper self?
And that's part of the initiation. That's what's cool. Is the word starts out, or the sentence, initiation is the process by which we turn from our natural inclination to remain unconscious and decide that whatever it takes, suffering, striving, enduring, we will pursue conscious union with the deeper mind, the deeper self. So it's almost like she's saying, you're choosing to go down this road. You don't want to live in that unconscious state. You want to live in a conscious mind. You want to
wake up.
You want to wake up. And that involves obviously striving, suffering, a lot of things along the way, but it's almost like you can't get initiated without, it's like any initiation. You think of, all the college rush and stuff where kids have to do all these crazy things to become part of a sorority or fraternity. But I thought it's like I'm jumping headlong it's been a year of just jumping, like almost running into that brick wall like we talked about on a Free For All Friday of the 9 3/4 platform, where that doesn't exist, but it does exist if you're willing to just charge it and know that it's not going to be easy. But that's just part of the initiation process to get back to your original perfect state, because I feel like we start out I feel like we're pretty whole when we're born. We heard that from a woman speaking on a podcast one time, and that the rest of your life is just unfolding. It's like you're born with everything you already are. You're not growing as a baby into this person. You already are that person.
Right.
And then it's beautiful just to watch that unfold and you just watch yourself become what you already are. And I feel like that's the process where I feel like I got lost along the way. I was unfolding, but part of me was being cut off and I was not unfolding properly. So I feel like I'm re-unfolding.
Yeah, getting back to that state where you can wake up and get to the point where she talks about conscious union with the deeper mind. That's
pretty
crazy.
Neat, right?
Like, what does that mean?
Oh, you got to read the whole book.
Yeah.
You got to read the whole book. That's just... I'm
I
still
don't know
kind
if
of
I
reeling.
can handle that. That's just, page after page of that. How do you get through that without...
It's pretty heady. It's tough. It's meaty and it's like tough meat. Half the time I was rereading it going, what did I just read? She goes into so many crazy myths and stories that half the time I was actually kind of creeped out by some of them.
Yeah.
They're pretty creepy, and takes a lot for a book to creep me out. But, if I read them at night and I was reading about, all these crazy stories and, but I did walk away with, I want to read it again. Like the minute I finished it, I was like, I don't want it to be over.
Yeah.
It's pretty deep. I highly recommend it as a 2014 read for anyone who has not read it.
Yeah, it's interesting too, because really what this whole health game, we talked about this before, but what the health game really does is it allows you to it kind of clears the clutter, in your life. It kind of clears the toxicity, the waste, the chemicals, and all that stuff in your life. And it allows you to start thinking about life in a new and unique way.
Yeah.
That when you start doing this cleansing, it's almost really, it's a journey that's not really about health at all. You're using health as a tool to clear away the clutter that's causing us to live lives that are just like, out of quiet desperation, and, it's just interesting because, people think, oh, you're a health nut. Oh, you take care of yourself and you do this, you drink wheatgrass,
you stick coffee up your rear.
Yeah. And she must be really into health, but really it's not really what that does for you on a physical level, is it? It's so much more than that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it really does open your mind, doesn't it?
Yeah. I think I was surprised by that. I didn't know that would be my journey. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You never thought you'd be a health nut, did you?
Health nut.
Right?
I'm not labeling myself.
Yeah. There you go.
One of the things I learned last year, don't label yourself. There's been a lot of things that I realized come out of my mouth that aren't even true. They're stories I've been telling myself.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I'm a bad flyer. I am not a morning person. I'm always late. I go, why do I keep saying things like that? Yeah. Dr. Dandis at Dayton Medical, when we went for some blood work last month, she was really I don't know, like she brought to light things. She called me out on stuff in a really loving way, but
she just made you aware. She didn't call you out.
No, she didn't call me out. You're right.
Yeah.
I guess she helped make me aware, and I thought I was already in an aware state, but she I guess just revealed to me other ways that I still have a lot of areas to grow in. Yeah. And it was great because I thought, you're right. She is right. Why do I word things like that? Why do I buy into my own lie of a story I'm telling myself? Like, it's almost like you create. I didn't even see myself doing it.
You create the lie, but the thing is you create the lie knowing that you're going to believe a lie, and you create it so that you'll have this lie that you can believe in to make you feel better. And all the while you know what you're doing, but then you don't know what you're doing at the same time, because most people, they tell themselves these lies like this, oh, I am a certain way. But they're not even aware that they do it, but on a deep subconscious level, they know they're doing it.
Yeah, it's probably true.
You know?
We have to.
In the moment, they don't know they're doing it.
Yeah.
And so you set up this like cycle that sets you up for failure, you know?
Yeah.
Because if our cells respond to our words, and that's a huge deal. Talking to yourself like that.
I'm jacked up.
You know what I mean?
No, you're right.
You can't talk to yourself like that.
Oh,
you don't talk Thai.
I talk Thai.
I talk Thai. You know, though, but I mean, you can't.
Oh.
Yeah, I thought it was cool that you talked to Dr. Dennis about that stuff.
Yeah. I know that I am excited about this journey this year of how much more work I have to do, and it's not in a bad way. It's just part of my initiation into the other wild and regaining my wild soul, you know, and returning to something that I've wanted to return to. And I think part of that is going to have to be becoming even more aware of the stories I tell myself.
Yeah, the stories that you tell yourself.
So
I got a little quote here I want to read from this blog I thought was really good.
Okay. Cough break. Poor you.
Cough break, yeah. Okay, so here we go. This is a guy, the Matt Walsh blog. I read him every now and then. Matt Walsh blog. He says here, he writes an article, and this guy, it's crazy. His blog is huge, but I think he gets, I don't know, it said somewhere where he gets 1 million visitors a month or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Just a big blog, but there's really nothing to it. It's just him writing articles, and I think he's a radio personality. I don't know much about him. I've only read a couple of his posts, but he talks about why he says this particular article is December 20th, 2013, why I'm leaving radio forever.
Oh.
And I think he's going to leave his job as a radio show host and focus on his blog full time.
Oh my gosh.
And I love stories like that. I just love it. Let's see. Let me read this to you at the very end. He says, if you guys ignore everything I say about everything else, at least hear me on this. Take risks, big risks, smart risks. I'm not talking about drunk driving or running naked in the snow. I'm talking about going out on a limb to achieve your goals. I'm talking about venturing into unknown territory with no safety net, no fallback plan, no cushion, and nobody holding your hand. You'll never do anything important if you care more about having fun and being comfortable, period. It won't happen. There's time for fun and comfort, but not now. Not when you're young and you have so much to do. I don't say this because I'm some huge success story. I say it because I'm not yet anyway. I say it because I'm in the thick of it too. I say it because my heart breaks every time I meet a person younger than me who has no ambition. So often I speak to someone like this. They tell me what they want to do in life, and I tell them, well, go do it then. And they come back with, yeah, but. Stop it. No buts. Nobody cares about your excuses. Move across the country if you have to. Live out of your car if necessary. Work 6 jobs if that's what it takes. Eat 1 meal a day if it comes to that. Do what needs to be done. Stop following the path that other people have laid out for you. Blaze your own trail. Make a sacrifice. Struggle. Sweat. Fail. Suffer. Do it now. Now's the time. Especially if you haven't even married and you don't have kids. Why in the world are you sitting around? What are you waiting for? There's absolutely nothing stopping you from chasing big things. Nothing. Maybe that's the only real value to this rambling spiel. Maybe there's a little inspiration to be found in all this, or maybe not. I'm nothing special. My story is not spectacular. I'm just a guy writing things. So thank you for reading it. It's pretty good, huh?
Just a guy writing things.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
I love that story he just told himself. That's hilarious. I'm
What's
just
that?
a guy writing things.
Yeah, that's cool, huh?
No, but I love the story. Like, he kind of just told himself. Like, he's not just a guy writing things. Like,
Yeah, he's not.
that whatever you just read is beyond inspirational. Like,
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
That's
really.
a great nugget.
Yeah,
Do you
well,
follow him?
I think I follow him on Facebook. I think I do. Yeah. Yeah, he writes all kinds of different stuff about different subjects and things like that, but
Wow, that is powerful. That is powerful.
yeah, it's good, huh?
I feel like you and I are kind of in the thick of that, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, just
I mean, you last year was huge. You quit all your other side work. I dropped down a little bit in my job, and I'm continuing to drop down, and it's super scary. But
this year we're going to drop you down. We're going to get you 1 day a week.
and then hopefully, I want the option to not
Not have to do
not
it.
have to. Yes, to be able to choose that if I want.
Yeah. Yeah, that's to do it in a not necessarily a net, like, there's no need, like you can not work 1 week and we can take care of things,
That would be amazing.
Yeah. That's the goal.
I believe God has told me that is going to happen. So I'm okay
love
with
it.
that.
Yeah, so there's another really cool thing I wanted to tell people about teeth regeneration. Have you heard about this?
No. What do you mean? Like the letter T? Or like TEA, drinking tea?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Teeth, like your
teeth.
your oral.
Teeth 3?
Teeth regeneration. What did you think
You
I
know what
said?
it sounded like? T3 generation. I'm like, oh, T3 generation. That sounds amazing.
Teeth regeneration.
So how do you teeth regeneration?
There you go.
Got it.
Forget filling cavities. Regrow your teeth instead.
What?
Huh? Okay, so
Tell me. I want to regrow my teeth.
regrowing your teeth is simple. You'll just need 2 things.
Seriously? Oh, it's so simple. Regrow
Yeah.
your arm.
Comfrey root and organic eggshells.
Okay.
Eggshells are used because they contain 27 minerals and loads of calcium, so they contain the ideal building materials to regrow your teeth.
Okay.
In fact, the composition of eggshells is very similar to the composition of our teeth and bones. Comfrey root is used because it accelerates bone, teeth, and tissue growth. In fact, another name for comfrey root is knit bone, primarily because of its ability to knit or regrow bone together so quickly.
My gosh.
So when you're regrowing your teeth, aim to eat 1 organic eggshell per day. Blending your shells into fresh fruit smoothies is a great way to consume them because blending breaks them into tiny particles that they are easily consumed. Smoothies with bananas are ideal because the banana will keep the shell particles suspended instead of allowing them to sink to the bottom of your glass. After cracking the egg, just boil your shells in water for 5 minutes to kill any of the pathogens before use. While you're remineralizing and adding plenty of calcium to your body with eggshells, you also want to use comfrey root on your teeth and gums. Either fresh or dried comfrey root will do the trick, but if it's dried, boil the root lightly for 10 minutes to rehydrate it. Then blend a square inch of the root with a few tablespoons of water to make a liquid. Swish the liquid in your mouth and between your teeth for about 20 minutes. When you're finished, just spit it out. Using comfrey in this manner is best done once a day, and you'll likely see progress within a few weeks. Many cavities can be completely regrown within a month or 2 with regular use. The best part is you can heal your teeth without leaving toxic metals or hormone disruptors in your mouth for the rest of your life. As a side note, comfrey root can be a little hard on your liver, so if you have liver problems, you'll want to use or avoid using comfrey. After your teeth have regrown, you also want to end the use of comfrey so you don't overdo it. Pretty cool, huh?
Where did you get that?
Natural News, Mr. Mike Adams.
Good night. Are you going to put a link to that?
I'll link to it, yeah.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh? I want to do that.
Of course you do.
Yeah, why not?
To me, I mean,
I got nothing against comfrey.
I'm saying yes to things I never thought I would. That does not sound. The idea of eggshell sounds like the worst idea ever. But
You wouldn't even taste it.
No, I would do it. But yeah, it just sounds like blah.
Because of the egg, you mean? Like the flavor of the egg?
Maybe it's that, or maybe it's just like when like when you accidentally got a piece of the shell and something you were baking or like an egg you were scrambling, and you'd crunch and you're like, it gave you the heebie-jeebies because you didn't expect it to be in there, and it was like,
oh yeah,
that has totally deterred me from eating eggs before, just feeling the crunch of the shell.
Oh really?
I know it's not. I know what you're saying. Like it's not crunchy and it's all powdered and stuff. But just the idea of it just gives me the creeps. But
yeah,
I would do it.
You would. Yeah, you wouldn't taste it.
I'll do it. I'll do anything.
I'll do anything I have to do.
You jump off the cliff. I'll follow a bunch of people jumping off a cliff.
It's all the same oat bag, people.
Do anything I have to do.
Yeah, no, pretty cool though, huh?
It's all the same oat bag. Is that Jerry Seinfeld's?
Jerry Seinfeld.
What is that whole thing he did?
I'm telling you for the last time.
That's what it is. His podcast or his stand-up. It's
comedy
hilarious.
routine.
That is a great one, by the way.
Yeah. So what else is going on? You want to take some listener questions?
Absolutely.
Let's do some listener questions. What else here? Trying to go through Kate, I was going to say, I have on my notes, Kate, who runs with wolves. Kate, who runs with wolves, my wife. You're out there on the fields at night.
Should be my Indian name. Kate runs with wolves.
I know, it should.
Runs with wolves.
Kate, who runs with wolves.
We'll just ditch Kate after a while, and then I'll just be known as runs with wolves.
By the way, I have to tell you, thank you for the Christmas gift you gave me.
What?
Of the less EMF.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yes.
Good.
You got me an apron.
I did.
And what, shielding for your computer.
Have you? Do you have the shield up there?
I do, yeah.
I don't see it.
It's on the side. I attached it to the side of the computer.
Good for you.
Yeah.
So you liked those?
Mm-hmm.
I know. It's funny. I was talking with was it Ashley and Bo? There's some girls I was talking about that you like making a joke like you're in the health world when your Christmas presents start becoming like enzymes and a neutralization ring.
I know, right? You're
EMF apron and some B17.
I got some crystals and some astaxanthin. What?
Totally.
What is your
and that
problem?
You're so excited about it.
Yeah.
That's even better. That I was like, yes!
I know.
I've been wanting these.
Crystals and a neutralization ring.
Totally.
I mean,
totally.
Yeah, crazy.
I love it.
Yeah, I think I'm really excited about that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
I feel better about you sitting at this desk all day knowing that you're at least doing something a little bit more proactive than the other things that you've tried. Altogether, I have a feeling it's going to be a good protection for you. Yeah.
So if you guys are interested in any of the products from Less EMF, I highly recommend. Those are so good. We interviewed, what was his name? Dr. Tofel, I think his name was. I forget his name was. Emil. Yeah. And I don't think you were on that call, were you?
No, but I remember it.
Yeah, he's such a good guy, and he runs Less EMF, and we're talking about the dangers of electromagnetic field. And
I know. I was listening to it when I was on my silent retreat. That's how I know.
Oh, that's right.
I was listening. It's the first day I think you went live.
Yeah, lowers sperm count and all this crazy stuff.
Yikes.
Messes up your blood sugar. Diabetics that have problems, if they're EMF sensitive.
Oh, gosh.
It's crazy what this stuff does. So I'm glad. I got a little grounding mat here. I got my crystals.
It's what
what else do I have?
It's a wild thought that it's not just what you put into your body, it's what's around you pulling on you that can change like something internally. That is the weirdest concept.
It screws up your blood sugar.
Wow.
And I got my zapper. I got my sun ring from Chris Kaler. I got the whole show.
You have quite the.
Who knows if any of it's doing any good, but I like it. I like the fact that I feel like I'm doing something.
Yeah.
So if it's not doing any good, at least I got 30% placebo effect going on.
Totally.
So
I believe the 30% is huge.
Yeah, right?
Right.
So,
and I do think some of those things we did took away that static electricity we were having in the wires for a while.
That was strange.
That was probably one of the weirdest things.
That was like during the fall months, wasn't it? Crazy.
That was bizarre. Anyway,
let's do two emails, then we'll do a commercial and do some of the rest after that.
Sounds good.
Sound good?
It's 12:44, by the way.
12:44.
I have to say, I've been having. If any of you have been listening to the last podcast, a couple of them I've been talking about how I just keep seeing these, numbers. Double numbers everywhere. It's been wild, but I thought, I wonder if that's just a 2013 and going into the new year, something else I'll become more aware of something else and the numbers will stop. Well, I laughed. I went to bed New Year's Eve, got up to go to the bathroom. It was dark. I thought, I wonder what time it is. And I looked, I uncovered the clock, 5:22.
Was it really?
And in my brain, I was like, yes.
5:22.
It continues on. I was so happy about it.
Jeez, of course it was, right?
Yeah, it can. And it's been 5 days, not even, of the new year, and I see it more than ever.
I see it more than ever, too.
It's happening to you now.
You're causing me to resonate at a higher frequency, Kate.
Well, That's why you married me.
I needed to resonate.
I helped you resonate.
Yeah, it's true. I see it all the time. I see it doing dishes. I see it around the house. I'll look.
And if it's one of us, we catch it every 10 minutes. Like you'll yell into me, "Hey, it's 1:44." An hour later, I'll be like, "It's 2:33." You know, we just laugh, and one of us catches it almost every time. It has the possibility of being a double.
You know what I've been getting to recently
Crazy.
is double numbers plus the second. So I'll look at the clock. It'd be 11:33:22.
But yeah, I've had that a lot
that's
too.
crazy.
I've had that a lot.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Oh, it's weird. You know what's even weirder is we have a couple clocks in our house that are like a minute apart or 2 minutes off. I'll catch it at 3:22 in one room. Go, oh, that's pretty cool. It's still happening. Go into another room. 2 minutes later, I'll look over just randomly 3:20. Like, how is it still 3:22? It's because that clock was like, I'll catch it like 5 times without trying on different clocks at the same time.
Yeah.
It's like making a big point that it's like, this is something that you're supposed to pay attention to.
Yeah, there's something there.
Like you start seeing it on every clock at a different time, and yet, oh, whatever.
If you're a numerologist, please write us and let us know what this means.
Yeah, Angela.
That's right.
Angela at 3 Roots Wellness, will you please let us know what's going
Yes.
on?
Does she does numerology? Right?
Yes. Check
Yeah.
her out. Check out 3 Roots Wellness. They have a really great thing going on.
What state are they in? Do you know?
Oh, gosh. Rhode Island. I'm blanking.
Ohio?
No. Not Rhode Island.
For some reason, I was thinking Ohio because of Alex P. Keaton.
Oh.
Yeah, you know, they were from Ohio.
Growing Pains? Or Family Ties?
Family Ties.
Alex P. Keaton?
You better believe it.
Michael J. Fox?
Yeah.
Oh, no. They're Maryland.
3 Roots Wellness is in Maryland.
Yeah, I think it's Maryland. I don't know why I blanked on that, but talk about really cool things going on over there. But anyway, okay, sorry. Back to the numbers thing, and then I was going to read an email, or you were?
Yeah, you want me to go first?
Sure.
Okay, this is from Alana.
Okay.
Thank you so much for your email and getting back to me so quickly last weekend. I will let you know if I get to Ejuva today or tomorrow, and wait to see if you get a tracking number. Oh, Alana, she ordered an Ejuva cleanse to start the new year.
Good for her. A few people
So,
have.
yeah.
I'm very excited for them.
Yeah, we've been selling quite a few of those during this time.
Yeah.
It's really cool. You asked if we ended up vaccinating our daughter. Before I'd done some research, our idea was that we would vaccinate, but just to do so cautiously. Cautiously meaning that we would not do any until she was older, and we would only do ones that we felt were most important. At 9 months, we gave her 1 dose of, what do they call that? DTaP?
Oh, the DTaP, yeah.
Is that what they call it? Hemiophilus? I don't know. And
Shouldn't be taking things you can't even read, right?
Pneumococcal.
Oh.
Pneumococcal. It's like a...
I've never heard of that one.
we gave her those 3 because they were the 3 that our pediatrician scared us into getting. When she was about a year old and it was time to get another dose, I wanted to educate myself more instead of just doing what our doctor told us to do. That is awesome. Always question your doctor. This is why I ran into your radio shows. I have my husband listen as well. I think we are pretty convinced that we are not going to do any more vaccinations. I also have taken her back to the pediatrician because she is a very happy, healthy baby, and I don't want them to continue to try to convince me I need to vaccinate her.
Wait, she has not taken her back to the pediatrician?
Yeah, I have not taken her
You
back.
said I have. Okay.
And I don't want them to try to convince me I need to vaccinate her and make me feel like a bad parent. I'm not blaming them. They just don't know any better.
Sure.
Recently, we've gotten a couple letters in the mail informing us that for each missing immunization that we give our baby, that we will receive $25 in gift cards. Crazy. Luckily, now we know better. It makes me sad that they think they can coax parents into vaccinating their kids for a little bit of money. $25. Can you believe that? Oh. Deciding to vaccinate your child should not be because you can't get some money because of it. It should be because you're making educated decisions about it and believe it's the best thing for your child. That wellness reward program, I think that's what they call it, is twisted. Thank you so much. Hope you're enjoying the holidays as well, Alana.
Oh, I completely hear her.
Isn't that crazy?
Because up the street at our local pharmacy,
Yeah.
there's a big old thing out in the front that says, get your flu shot and receive 20% off your purchase today or something. I'm like, they're paying people.
Oh, yeah.
To get this stuff. Wow, I'm so happy, Alana, that you've chosen to at least look into it and make a more informed decision for your baby.
You know what? I'm not, it's not like I'm anti-vaccine. I mean, I am, I think, for us. But for people out there, I just want people to do some research.
That's all.
That's it.
Just become more informed and then make your own choice.
Yeah, make your own choice and maybe do them in rounds, or maybe get homeopathic vaccinations. You can do those.
Right.
Or get them spaced out, or get a lesser dosage spaced out or something. But what I thought she said was great was, I wanted to educate myself more instead of just doing what our doctor told us to do.
Amen.
Yeah, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah, good job, Alana.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you have not, by now she should have her Ejuva cleanse. And if you're listening to this, Alana, let me know how that Ejuva cleanse is going, because you should be on it by now.
Nice.
It's a 30-day program.
Whew.
And yeah, that's an incredible cleanse. If you guys are interested in doing that Ejuva cleanse, you can check it out in our store, or you can go to extremehealthradio.com/Ejuva, EJUVA, and learn more about it. You can listen to the interview we did with Dr. Partido. But just a good cleanse, and it's all raw, organic, vegan, living, live source.
And it's made for you. Like, they don't make it until you order it. That's how fresh it is.
Yeah, that's right.
Literally. I mean, when we, looked into it in the beginning, I was surprised to see just what extremes they went to make sure the stuff was just made properly at the right time, so you could get the best results from it possible.
And maybe if he's like anything from Anthony Morocco and the Morocco method, he's out there picking herbs on the full moon.
On the full, I wouldn't be surprised.
In the hills at night,
We're going to have Anthony on, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
I'm so excited about that. There's so much out there, just so much new information.
We're going to be, Anthony Morocco is a really crazy, wild guy from Morocco method. And if you go to
Crazy in a good way.
extremehealthradio.com/mm for Morocco method, you'll find his website. And he has raw, organic, vegan hair care products that are living, GMO-free, organic. Crazy. Shampoos and everything, hair dyes.
Oh, I can't wait to talk to him about the process that he gathers these substances, because
he's got a great story too.
Does he?
He walked away from his job. Remember that?
Yep. But we're not going to tell it right now. We're going to let him tell it.
That's right.
Because it is a great story.
Yeah, he left Marilyn Monroe just sitting there in the chair and said, "I'm done with you."
It was not Marilyn Monroe.
Jackie
I like
Kennedy.
that you're making up his own story.
He left Jackie Kennedy under the dryer and said, "I'm done."
He was hairdresser to the stars, though.
He did walk away from his job,
which is amazing. It goes along with Matt Walsh blog.
Yeah,
you read that quote from him? Hi, one from Isabel, our friend Isabel.
Okay.
Hi, Justin and Kate. I've recently found your amazing Extreme Health Radio. I love listening to you and your guests. Thank you, Isabel. I've been listening to Health Radio for years, and you interview a few people I have heard, but most of the people you interview I've never heard of, and they are totally interesting. If I didn't feel like listening to Patrick, I went to itsrainmakingtime.com. Kim Greenhouse is also really good and has interesting guests. But the more I listen to you, the less I listen to them. I just love you two, and your guests are great. Oh, thank you. Doris Rapp mentions glutathione. You can't take it as a supplement. It doesn't work, but you can take, I don't know how to say this, risotrine, which is great. We can put a link to that she sent. Have you heard of astaxanthin from Nutrex from Hawaii? Great product, which we have. We take
that, yeah.
The astaxanthin is good for strong bones and nails, too, and kept me from breaking my front rib this summer when I tripped and fell really hard on a sidewalk and fell flat, and on my two hands and left ribs. Nothing broke, just a bit stunned. Wow. By the way, one of your guests suggested we all need sulfur. Was it Dr. Wong? Amazing guy. And Patrick Timpone had a guest called Patrick McGean who recommends taking MSM. So because I am my best guinea pig, I ordered some, and it is the best. None of the other MSMs I've tried even come close. My nails grow at the speed of light and are hard as steel. It's good for bones too, which is great. I have not yet made a donation, but that's coming soon. I'll look at your product line to see what I can order or through Amazon. Oh, and I know she has, so thank you. This morning I'm listening to your show about the Dayton Medical Center, and Kate said she had a good-sized fibroid for which she was taking homeopathy. 2 things that will help her get rid of it. 1, castor oil packs over the pelvis area, and a small vaginal plunger she can put inside with her hips raised before bed. I had one the size of an orange, and in 1 month it was gone. Plus, I take serapeptase every day, too, from goodhealthusa.com. Can you imagine what doctors do? Can you imagine that doctors do hysterectomies for fibroids all the time? It is tragic. Love you both. You and Kate are terrific and are on the right track with your radio show. Great shows. Keep it up, Isabel. P.S. After 7 nights sleeping on the biomat, I'm already feeling better. The pain in my legs caused by my uterine cancer is diminishing 50% so far in 1 week, and I hope the cancer will be gone, capitalized, by February. That is my goal. We'll keep you posted. Wow. There's so much in there, Isabel, and that's one thing I've been meaning to write Isabel for the last literally 2 weeks about the castor oil pack, and I really want to know about this vaginal plunger she's talking about.
Yeah, that's interesting. What is this? So it sounds like that's something she leaves in all night?
I don't know if it's leaving in all night, or I have no idea. Sounds like before bed. Yeah, maybe.
So castor oil packs, we're going to start getting into those and start doing them. But castor oil packs and the serapeptase sounds like those are 3 amazing things that I'm adding to this year. I mean, I've done so much in 2013. I can't imagine what 2014 holds. And those are absolutely things that I'm going to charge as soon as we get back from a wellness retreat that we're taking part in. So. Yeah. That's good. GoodHealthUSA.com. Right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll put links to that. This is extremehealthradio.com/192. Mm-hmm. So if you're listening to that and you're thinking about the links and all the stuff that we talk about, we'll put that on this show page. Good stuff, Isabel. Thank you.
Yes.
Good stuff. All right, let me, you want to do a break now, or do you want to do, let's do a break now. Okay, cool. Here we go. We're going to do one for the Qigong.
Cool.
Favorite Qigong course. We'll be right back after this break.
I have to say, I have been absolutely loving this product by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar called Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong. If you want to listen to the interview we did with Tristan, you can go to extremehealthradio.com/127. And Qigong is a great way to de-stress the body. And as you know, there's a huge component to disease caused by stress. And stress is a huge factor in how we live our lives and the amount of energy we have and the amount of vitality we have. And so, Dr. Shade, what do you think about Qigong?
People come to me and they're really sick and they got this blown out neurological system and all this toxicity. And I tell them, you need to do Qigong, Tai Chi. You need to do these things that settle down and restore your neurology, because it puts together all the parts. It puts you back into that state where you can start to detoxify. And so I highly, highly recommend all that.
And what about you, Kit Campbell? What do you think about Qigong? Do you like it as well?
Qigong is amazing. And the reason that I believe it to be amazing is everything here is energy. That is a scientific fact, if there ever is one. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually drawing energy into your body. Your intention, whatever your intention is behind any action, will determine the level of energy, type of energy that you absorb into your body. So your intention behind is very important, just like thought. So when you're practicing Qigong, you're actually bringing energy in and you're bringing out the stuff that might be a bit stale. With Tai Chi, it's totally different. The energy runs underneath the skin because it's more of a martial. This is the Chinese understanding, by the way. It's more of a martial art. So Qigong is very, very good for bringing that energy into the body, and just fantastic.
If you're interested in picking up this Qigong course by Tristan Truscott and Peter Ragnar, go to extremehealthradio.com/Qigong. That's QIGONG. And you can learn more about it. There's a great video on that page, and you can learn more about it on that page. And I highly, highly recommend this product. I love it myself, so go ahead and check that out. extremehealthradio.com/Qigong.
All three shows, all the time, on Extreme Health Radio. Opening minds and transforming lives worldwide. Join our community today. Call using Skype at Extreme Health Radio or call 949-505-9585. That's 949-505-9585.
What's Maggie doing? She hanging out with you?
Little Scrappy's by my feet. She's being all scrappy down there. She just got off the biomat and she's being all crazy, trying to play.
She hasn't barked once during this show yet.
Really good.
Yeah,
I think she missed us, our incessant talking.
Yeah, now she's on the old biomat.
She's stretched out on the biomat.
As if she's not long enough, and a big yawn.
And a yawn. It's really stressful being Maggie Brown long bottom.
All right, I got another email here from Jennifer. She says, "Hi, Justin. Wow, I thought I was the only person who has never owned a cell phone." So she's on our email list, and I encourage you guys, if you sign up to the email list, to write back, because I have emails that go out in a sequence to you. And I wrote one a while back about the dangers of cell phones in our interview with Magda Habas and all that kind of stuff. And she says, "Hi, Justin. Wow, I thought I was the only person who has never owned a cell phone." See, not only do I not have one, I've never owned one. That's the whole thing.
You had one forced on you, remember, for like a week?
A friend of mine forced me to have one for a week because of a business thing we're doing.
And you're like, I don't know how to turn it on.
I was like, Zoolander. The files are in the computer. I don't know what to do with this thing.
I can talk to someone on this block. Don't know what to do.
This black square block. What is this? So yeah, I've never owned a cell phone. I'm pretty proud of that.
I actually am very jealous of that.
I will say that is my ego, but I'm very proud of that.
I say own it. You deserve that one. So does Jennifer. Go you guys.
So that's cool. She says, "I thought I was the only person who has never owned a cell phone. I'm alarmed at how they seem to take over people's lives." Well,
True.
That's not very alarming. I see that all the time myself.
Sadly.
They are never really, quote, present. I am also into extreme nutrition and have been growing and eating broccoli sprouts about 8 ounces a day in my morning smoothie for about 20 years now.
Whoa.
Along with a whole plant-based diet. And at 55, I have extreme health with a ripped, fat-free body and virtually no ailments.
Whew.
That's awesome.
Wow.
People think it's crazy how I eat, and I am alone in my quest for health. So it's good to have you. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Oh, you are not alone.
You are definitely not alone.
No.
But that is
There's
cool.
quite the community being built of people. I can definitely tell you there is so many people on the same page, and that's what's so exciting about this whole community we're finding.
Yeah. It's behind the scenes. We have a huge community growing, and our Facebook community's growing, and there's thousands of people on our email list. So you are definitely not alone.
And you are one of us.
And that is cool.
We're all together.
So 8 ounces.
Wow.
8 ounces a day of broccoli sprouts. That's crazy. Is that packed? Do you think that's...
I don't know. I don't know.
Like, do you pack that in? You couldn't pack that into a thing and make 8 ounces, could you?
If you're listening, Jennifer, would you send us a follow-up email and let us know how that works? That's amazing.
Yeah, I'd love to see some pictures how you do that and how much you put in your smoothie.
Oh, that's a good call.
Yeah, you know what? People eating broccoli sprouts, that's crazy because, in our culture, what's not crazy is going to In-N-Out and going to Taco Bell and
I know
going to McDonald's. That's normal.
Deep fried butter at the state fair.
And yeah.
Deep fried butter. Okay, don't even get me started.
What is that?
Right?
It's
deep fried butter. That's what they eat at the fair now. They'll put it on a stick at the county fairs.
Like a popsicle?
Sure.
Is that how they do it?
No, seriously. I don't know. I don't understand, first of all, how you actually deep fry butter and not have it melt. Because they're eating. It's like some kind of... I don't have any words. I don't even know. But I've heard it's just gnarly.
Yeah, the deep fried butter.
Ugh.
So... Feel good about yourself, Jennifer. 55, eating broccoli sprouts that you grow yourself. You know what you should do is consider growing them in ocean water. You put a little diluted ocean water in there, and they'll take up more minerals.
More trace minerals?
Yeah.
Maybe she does. Maybe we don't. Maybe she's been doing that for 20 years when we were eating our In-N-Out with fat dripping down our face.
Yep.
Too stupid to know any better.
No. So you got another question?
It's not a question. It's an email.
Oh, another email?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
This is from our friend Brian. This is pretty cool. This email came right the last day of the year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally brought me to tears. It was just amazing. It's very long, so I'm going to kind of paraphrase it. But basically, he's looking back at his life in the last year and all the things he's added in, and
as a result of listening to our show.
Yes, it's just amazing.
Just amazing.
First of all, he's overcome Lyme's disease naturally, and he went through a whole story with that, and going from 160 pounds down to 120 over a 6-month period. Wondered if he was ever going to make it another month, honestly.
Wow.
And he thought he took good care of his health prior to that, and he was eating really good foods, but he wasn't detoxifying, and he really found some solace and some success through effective detoxification and supplementing, and the Lyme completely disappeared. So if you can believe that, I can.
Oh, he says here he's listened to every Extreme Health Radio episode too.
I know. I was just getting there.
Wow,
listen to it. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
He really appreciates the empowerment we're providing people with free shows. and it was so nice. He put, may you receive back from the community even more than you give, which is a lot. And that brought me to tears, literally.
I think he had just donated, right?
Yeah, which we are so grateful for.
Yeah, that's so nice. So nice.
And he has a wife and 4 young kids, and this is what he's done over the last year. This is just amazing. His wife bought him the Relax Far Infrared sauna for Father's Day, if you can believe that. He said it's the best present ever. He loves sweating in the sauna 3 to 4 times a week. And he normally has difficulty sweating like I do. And he says it's so relaxing, and he's completely getting the benefits of it. He said, I prefer to do, as Phil Wilson mentioned in an interview with you, which was remove the seat and the heating unit poles while facing heating unit upwards in the sauna while sitting fully immersed in the sauna. That is gnarly.
That's commitment.
That is commitment.
That is big time.
He said his wife uses the sauna every day, and the kids will go in the sauna weekly for about 10 minutes, and a little bit more even if they're starting to get under the weather, which is amazing.
Wow.
He's purchased the Good Morning, Good Evening Qigong, and he's done it faithfully every day since his purchase a few months back. He said, what a difference it has made in my energy levels. It gets me outside breathing the fresh air here in Canada, and it is refreshing to stand barefoot in the snow to do it. Who is Brian?
That's amazing.
Brian is amazing.
Yeah.
He said after sauna, he can do 10-minute portions in just his shorts. Only even if it's below 0 temperature. And then he follows up with, my wife prefers to do the routine indoors.
Oh, no surprise there.
Imagine. This guy's so cool. He purchased moringa, which we love.
Yeah, that moringa is great.
We found out about that from Ty Bollinger, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that Ty Bollinger?
Yeah, Ty Bollinger, yeah.
He loves eating a half a tablespoon of straight powder or mix it into a juice. He needs to hide it in a juice for the kids to consume it. But hey, he's getting it in for his kids. It's amazing. That is awesome. He's done frequent coffee enemas. Apparently, I have inspired his experiences to do them frequently rather than at times of just liver flushing. He said he's alarmed at what comes out, even though he hasn't seen his crazy stuff like I have. Can't believe how much waste is in him, which I think everyone can't believe, actually. Yeah. He said, I love using the Premier Research Coffee, which is produced to test energetically strong. So I hadn't heard of that.
Premier Research Labs, Dr. Bob Marshall.
Oh, you know about that.
Healthline.cc. We interviewed him.
Why do I not remember the name? Research.
Dr. Bob Marshall. We interviewed him. I think it was episode 13 or 19 or something like that. But he's amazing. So
we'll put a link to him.
Yeah.
Writing this down. He's purchased One World Whey. He's purchased all 3 of the flavors, which are the best tasting whey powders he's ever had. He uses a scoop a day. He would eat 4 a day if he could, but unfortunately he doesn't test strong muscle test wise for 4. He only tests wise for 1. Okay. So that's pretty cool. His wife and kids love it as well. He purchased MMS. He's going to start taking that in 2014 and is excited to journey through that.
Also purchased the Raw Chef course.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought I had done a lot in 2013.
Yeah,
this
Brian
guy
is on
it.
Yeah.
This is cool too. I love number 8. He purchased an organics bra for his wife.
Nice.
How cool is that? Because she it looks like he said she has been braless for the past few months since he told her about the Sidney Ross Singer interview. Mm-hmm. But he says she wants to wear one to church, and why he's getting her one for that. Mm-hmm. Which I think is absolutely amazing, and it's pretty much what I do too. I've started to go braless, and when I do, I wear the organics bra from our friend Michelle at Organics. So check out her line of underwear. It lets your lymph flow continue to work correct while you're wearing this thing. But man,
OHGANIX.
Correct.
.com.
Let me write that down too.
Organics. OHGANIX. We'll put a link to that on
Yeah. Sure. He's purchased the Purposeful Primitive book by Marty Gallagher.
Wow.
He said, I'm a guy who likes to work out at home, and the exercises in this book, he feels he gets the most muscles in the least amount of time. I saw great progress in my strength when I did it consistently for the last 3 months. I plan on starting again consistently in the early spring. Mm-hmm. He purchased How to Read Your Blood Tests by Dr. J.E. Williams and Kevin Gianni.
Nice.
And he and his wife started doing comprehensive blood tests last year, and they felt obviously like that was a great resource for them, as you and I have been talking about, because we have had many tests, and to be able to
read it is critical.
Right. I mean, what's the point of having them if you have to have somebody...
If you don't know what the numbers mean.
Right.
Yeah.
So you and I are actually going to be doing that this year as well.
And he also purchased Danielle Walker.
Yes, he did.
Danielle Walker's book, Against All Grain.
Which is super amazing. And
that book was called Against All Grain.
Oh, Danielle Walker, yeah. Again, I've used that many times, and it's a great resource. And then, anyway, So there's some other stuff that's just kind of personal that I'm going to leave out, but I thought, what a cool listener, what an amazing friend, what a part of our community that he just inspires me. So Brian, thank you for everything you shared with us. And
that's awesome.
I can't thank you enough for your donation and just really backing us. We feel very honored and humbled.
And if you're looking for that blood test that he's talking about, it's extremehealthradio.com/blood. But did you read number 12?
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
We won't talk about that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And then he says here at the bottom, may I recommend the 90-day parasite cleanse protocol recommended by Dr. Bob Marshall
of
Premier Research Labs. I expelled over 20 significant size earthworms.
Isn't that crazy?
During 2 cleanses over the past 1.5 years. And he says at the end, anyway, keep up the great work, you guys. It has made a great difference in the life of me and my family. I've made a donation, which I hope will help you guys out, and I look forward to 2014.
We are we're in 2014 now. I'm very much looking forward to this year.
Yeah, amazing.
Amazing.
I want to share one more thing he says, too. He says here, over the past 6 months, through flossing daily, swishing salt water, and using neem oil daily, coconut oil pulling 3 to 4 times a week, and swishing DMSO 1 to 2 times weekly, the tooth appears to be healing. And now I barely can tell if it was ever chipped.
How crazy is that?
I've not been to the dentist for any follow-up. I'm not really concerned about this at this time, and I rarely even think about it. He's talking about a chipped tooth he has. Pretty cool, huh?
Eggshells.
Yeah. Crazy.
It all's connected. So I can't thank you enough, Brian.
Wow. So Brian, geez, he's really taking it to the next level, isn't he?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. He encourages me to keep going to the next level. I love that we're, like Jennifer was saying, it's like you sometimes think you're the only person, even though you know you're not on this journey, but it's just so encouraging to have all these people all write you and tell you what they're doing, and it just inspires me to step up my game. So
I know.
So grateful.
Such a great, eclectic, and inspired, and motivated, and mostly intelligent community we have here at Extreme Health Radio.
No kidding.
You listeners, you guys are writing us stuff that we've never even heard of.
No.
I hadn't even heard of half the stuff that, and I've been into this extreme kind of cutting edge nutrition since 2003.
Yeah.
People are writing me stuff and doing protocols I never even heard of.
You're like, can you send me a link on that? I don't know what that is.
Not only have I never tried, but I never heard of it.
Absolutely.
And I've been immersed in this kind of alternative healing, and so it's awesome. You guys are just so amazing.
We are humbled.
Yeah. Just so good.
We are babies in our journey.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have a quote.
Let's do the quote.
Okay. Do you want me to read it last?
Yeah, let's do the quote.
So what else do we need to cover? If anyone, even though it's not the holiday season anymore,
yes,
if any of you can support us and our work, if you gain anything from our shows shopping through Amazon, we would hugely appreciate it. You don't have to buy anything health related.
That's right.
You can buy socks and underwear or, whatever you want. But
Power tools.
Yeah. But you can go to extremehealthradio.com/Amazon and make all your purchases. We get a small percentage, but man, all those small percentages really are making all the difference in our work. So,
yeah.
And please feel free to check out our store with all our products. A lot of the stuff we just talked about, there'll be links to in the show notes and the show page, extremehealthradio.com/192 for this episode. But we have a lot of just amazing products we believe in. We've tested, I'd say 99.9% of the things that we stand behind, and the ones we don't are very highly recommended through people who have. And we plan on trying every single one before the year is over.
Yeah. We love the store is a really unique thing because, it's got a lot of stuff in there that is really unique, and it's not stuff that you're going to find all in one place. You know, there's all kinds of, different categories for your skin and your hair, different conditions like cancer or different problems you might have, like yeast and candida.
Sure.
So we have different products based on those categories, and then physical products as well as digital products. We have like a whole digital side of things where you can get courses and programs about how to juice and things like that. So we really kind of created things and kind of organized them in such a way where you can find them easy. And right now I think we have about 40 different products, and there are so many amazing.
They're so broad in what they do.
Yeah.
What they offer. It's just it's really cool. Just take some time to poke around in the store, because there's stuff that I'm still like, what is that? I don't know. And you're like, oh, I've been doing that for 2 years. Like, there's stuff that I just find new all the time. So there's something for everybody if you guys are interested in taking your health to the next level.
Yeah, and please, if you guys can too, it would be really amazing and really helpful for us too if you'd like to share the show on Facebook. Or Twitter, or through email. If you know someone that you think might benefit from some of the things that we talked about, please pass it on to them, because that really, really helps us a lot. And we don't have a marketing department or anything like that. We just a couple of people doing a radio show out of their studio in their house,
Exactly.
So if you guys can pass on this show to as many people as you possibly can, it really does help. And Facebook right now, it could change, but in the future, but Facebook right now is a great way to do that.
Yes.
You just post it on your wall and let everyone see it.
And your whole world gets to see it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
So I'll end. Anything else?
That's it.
I'll end with a quote by our friend Steve Jobs, who has passed on.
Who gave us the iPhone that's radiating our heads.
Pretty much. But he did quite a work in this world, didn't he? But
yeah, we'll overlook that little part.
We'll just wear an EMF apron while we use our iPhone. Well, I use my iPhone, but you don't have one. You've never had one.
Never had one.
Okay, so Steve Jobs wrote, or is quoted by saying, "Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become."
Thank you for listening to this episode.
It's time to go for now, but our mission does not end with this show.
Justin and Kate will be back with another interview packed full of ideas, discoveries, and unique ways to regain your health.
Head on over to extremehealthradio.com/subscribe and instantly download our free gift too that contains cutting-edge strategies to start making healthy lifestyle changes today.
No material on this blog is intended to suggest that you should not seek professional medical care. Always work with qualified medical professionals, even as you educate yourself in the field of live food nutrition and alternative medicine. I'm not a doctor, nor am I offering readers or listeners medical advice of any kind. None of the information offered here should be interpreted as a diagnosis of any disease, nor an attempt to treat or prevent any disease or condition. While information in this blog and during this podcast is discussed in the context of numerous conditions,